So my first layer of scenery is down, glue's still drying. It's a base layer of grass. And then the plan is to put some longer grass over some of it. And then I've got to do this bit, so I've got paths drying from the 2 railway huts. And then I've done the foundations for the pond, so I'm going to put some grass around that. And then I'll add some realistic water last. But it was getting there. And then I've got to start putting my traffic signs, lampposts, traffic lights, and the railway crossing over there. I'm also part way through painting some fences. So these farmers' fences came as yellow originally. So I'm going to paint them sort of a brown. I'm using spray. Those 2 got left out in the rain, I forgot about them. And then I've got some security fencing that's going to be grey. And I've put some foundation paint down for some grass in the middle there, and there's going to be a couple of trees on that too. And I thought I'd better mark out a little track coming from the ramp and to the ramp on the crossing. More base layer paint before I put grass on top around the pond and these tracks. And I've made a top and bottom for the switch boxes. So it's coming together slowly now. You can start to see some of the scenery appearing. And this is the car, the Corsa boy racer. There's going to come a cropper, and that's the damage to his car. And there's going to be some little flame effect inside, and that's the flame effect unit. It's really meant for campfires, but should do the job. I've added some static grass and some bales of hay around the corner derelict house, and some detail like these screens and tickets, machines and whatever, and some stuff around the garages, some skips and whatever. And I've started to put more detail around these guys, including some little fruit trees with blossom, and some tyres, and of course got to have the face mask sign since it's 220. And there you see all my vending machines in the railway station, and trees on the end of the map near the main road, just to give it a bit more of a scenic look. And I've finally got the grass down. Got to put some bushes in yet, but around that pond it looks a bit better. And I'm starting to add some trees and a bit more detail, such as that porter cabin office. And I'm about to wire up some of my road signs, and this is what it's like underneath to wire them up. Fiddly, but not too bad. And this is just a little tip, that if you've got small wires to fit through small holes that would bend very easily, putting a piece of that tubing in first. And even though I'm doing this one-handed and it's a very, very small wire, it is actually so much easier to fit. These are the lampposts, which I'm actually going to take out because I discovered that they're far too hot and they start to smell a bit. And they're actually too hot to the touch, so I don't trust them on a child's layout to be left on for hours. So I've ordered some replacements from my usual supplier. These were one-off I bought some time ago, 12 volt. And although they look really good switched on, and I like the look of them, I just don't want to trust them with a child's layout and it's going to be under his bed. So I'm hoping the replacements come in time for me to get them changed. If not, I'll just disconnect the wires but leave the lamppost in there for the effect. And my traffic lights are in. I'm not showing the video of them working yet because I'm saving that for the final video, but they're following the UK sequence. And I put the centre of the roundabout in. I had to move something that was underneath, unfortunately, for that, but it's getting there. These are the signals. They're working okay, so I've just gone for the green and red for the buoy, and there are just 2 of them. And this is just a sneak preview of the crash scene. I've drilled out those lights, and I've started to put some detail like toolboxes and a ramp inside some of these garages. And finally putting fencing up, which is very fiddly, but it just helps look a bit more realistic even though it's a child's sim. And of course a few cows around this derelict building and fences to keep them in. Just a quick look from the top of what it's going to look like. And this is what I still have to do. I've read all the wiring, it's quite straightforward, but I need a 10mm drill bit, and I'm kind of embarrassed to show this, but this is what my wiring looks like from the underneath. I know what it does, and then I know what goes where, but I'm not sure anybody else would. I tend to keep to yellow and white for lighting. Obviously the 3 colours are for signals and points, and I use a lot of these distribution boards and various things. The tape's just a temporary thing to keep it out of the way. I'm putting a piece of hardboard 3mm underneath the whole thing just so it can slide, and I have wheels attached to that. That's my main lighting box. So yeah, messy, but I kind of know what's going on. That's a CDU over there. So I've put the name, because you remember my first Thomas layout was Lackenby Junction, and to make it easier for the 6-year-old with his mum to plug things in, they're all colour coded for the 3 mains unit transformer leads are all, and the actual plugs have got the colours on too to make it straightforward. He just plugs it straight down. I put my Pelican cross in, thought it'd be nice to have one of those, and that's all wired up and working okay. And I fitted the handles. I've actually added the new junction sign on that too, and just so till he gets used to the points, I've put little signs on them on each one of the 5. They go from left to right, so it's pretty easy to work out actually, but just till he gets used to them, then we can take them off, and some initial pictures of what does what on the switchboard. And Christmas Day is going to be the final version, hopefully, of all finished. Thank you.